What's going on, people? TWP back with a bang, back here to bring you guys another video today. So I know it's been a while since I did a video like this, but right now it's much needed. It is urgent. Today we had some fake news which I'm going to get into. I'm going to be talking about how the tariffs are affecting the market, what to look for in this market, where the gems are, what you need to be doing if you're trading this market, if you're new to the market, how to build long-term wealth, financial freedom, generational wealth, all of that in this market. I'll be discussing that and a lot more, so make sure you check out the video, make sure you stay with it till the end. Also, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. But it has been a crazy market since Trump has, began his term in the administration of the United States. So one thing I will say is everyone affected or expected the markets to be running. And since February 19th, the markets have been tanking for various different reasons. Right now, the fear in the market is huge. The volatility in the market is crazy. It's insane. I saw the VIX at 52. When have you ever seen a VIX at 52? That's the volatility index. I saw the fear and greed index at 4. I mean, it's just completely erratic right now. It's just completely insane. So the most important thing is, I'm going to say, first and foremost, protect your capital. I want to put that out there before we get into the charts. I'm going to screen share in a second, but protect your capital. That's what I will say, because this market is not easy. It gets gapped down overnight. Sometimes they're going to, run it up like they did today with the fake news. But yeah, let's get into it. I'll share my screen. Let's talk you through it and let's see what's going on with this market right now. The fear and greed index was at 4 today. You've seen the announcements of tariffs. You've seen countries hitting back, tariff wars. You've seen a lot of random stuff happening in the markets. You've seen volatility like crazy. Obviously, we're in the new administration. All sorts of stuff is happening right now. And to be honest, I love it because it provides us so much opportunity. We'll start by just looking at SPY, S&P 500, ETF. And as you can see already, the madness is continuing after hours right now. So it's currently up $3.50. But before we talk about any of that, let's talk about the fake news from today. And I'm talking about fake news, right? When we talk about fake news, this is the fakest of news you could ever see. So, you know what? Let's run it back to the daily chart. So since February 19th, we topped out February 19th, 613 on SPY. And then we managed to drop all the way to, all the way to 483, 482. Okay, so a huge drop, over $120 drop, right? Now, the market's been clearly bearish. But what happened today? Why am I talking about fake news? So we've heard that Donald Trump wanted to announce tariffs, or he announced tariffs, and he said he's not holding back on those tariffs. Many countries in the world got hit hard. Obviously, that's no good thing, in regards to imports and exports. That's obviously a very horrible thing when you're hit with, high tariffs, especially when you're seeing tariffs of up to 50%, all that kind of stuff. So the market sold off again at open. Within let's say a 20-25 minute period, what happened? Well, SPY ran from 482 to highs of 523. That's almost a 40-point jump, right? And this is something that moves probably 40 points in 2 months. It did a 40-point jump in 20 minutes. So why did this happen? Well, this is why I say fake news. Bill Ackman is a hedge fund manager. He came out and said that there was going to be a pause on Trump's tariffs. Nobody from Trump's official team, nobody from, the White House, but pretty much a rumor came out that Trump was pausing the tariffs for 90 days. And as you can see, the markets ripped, the markets flew. That's SPY, right? SPY. We can look at QQQ as well. We can look at all sorts. Look at that. QQQ down at 402, ran to 442 in a 20-25 minute period this morning. So yeah, people was making crazy plays. DSESH turned $98 to over $1,200 in that period. It was a lot of madness. But here's the problem now. The White House came out and confirmed that that was fake news, that there was no plan to pause the tariffs, that Trump was sticking with his plan. We might as well call him Stump, but yeah, he was sticking with his plan. And so you see from 442 on QQQ, it dropped all the way back down to 415. $25, $27 drop. Look at the crazy wicks, the crazy bodies, the inverted hammer here on the 5-minute chart. Now, the reason I'm happy with that is because we got into puts and we made our little 20-25%. Some people made even more, depending on their entry. But fake news in this market can cause... This was a bull trap. This was a classic bull trap. Everybody getting excited. Retail traders would have bought up here, been excited, been like, yeah, the markets are back, the market's going to fly, the markets are green, and got trapped. Kicked out their plays, bodied out for no reason, right? No reason. So that's the problem with this market, right? its market is the technicals are important, right? The 4 hour chart, the daily chart, the moving averages, volume, all that kind of stuff. But the news is important as well. The news is important because any kind of news can cause it to rip, fly up. Any kind of news can just cause it to drop back down. Any fake news can cause it to rally. Any fake news confirmed can cause it to flop back down. So that's what happened today. And you're seeing nasty wicks on these candles, right? You're seeing nasty wicks, right? Nasty wicks there. But that is what can happen in this market. Now, on the positive side, if you've been with us, especially in the Discord, you know that overall we've just been swinging puts, swinging puts, swinging puts, swinging puts. But at the same time, we've been swinging puts. We've been noticing that, hey, we keep breaking key levels. Now, eventually, this is all going to run back up. We've seen this in 2018. I saw it in 2020 in the pandemic, even 2021, 2022, because from the peaks of 2021 to the bottoms of 2022, the NASDAQ, for example, fell over 35%, right? And it recovered to, where it is today, the last few weeks. So despite all that happened, despite all I've seen in the past 6 years or so, I'm not too worried about this, right? It's a great opportunity to invest long term. You see AMD at $80, Nvidia at $90, all that kind of stuff. It's a great opportunity for long term. But short term traders understand, yeah, the markets can sell off. But yeah, any moment now, they can rip them upwards. And that means you've got to be prepared. So swinging, we've been swinging the last few weeks. We've been swinging, it's great. Now might be the time to start holding cash. Because look again, like I just showed you guys, after hours, SPY already up. It's still going, $4. That's why I said I'm not swinging puts, not with this market. Because they decide to run it up any moment they like. They can decide to do anything they like with the moves. So don't get caught out. Trust me, it's not worth it. Like if you look at SPY, if you look at SPY, IWM or QQQ, you'll see the volatility is insane right now, right? It's insane, right? The drops have been crazy. The overnight dumps have been crazy. The gap downs have been crazy. But at the same time, swing trading is still going to be risky, right? I haven't seen volatility like this since probably Trump's first term in office. And, all the people who thought Trump's coming into office, he's going to run it all up. The opposite has pretty much happened. He's dumped it off, not on purpose, I'd say, but the markets have just dumped off. And we're still trying to battle inflation. We're still trying to get interest rates to drop. A lot of chaos right now, right? So, you at the same time, when they thought this guy's coming into office to, come save the markets, it's been complete opposite. So really, the most important thing you can do right now is not forget the overall picture, right? This is IWM, so the Russell, the overall picture. Okay, here's the overall picture. We can get up to where we were in 2021, 232. We can get up to where we were in 2024, 242. Right now we're at 179, 180 after hours, right? Don't be too scared. Don't be too scared to start slowly buying some shares here for the long term. Don't forget the overall picture. Don't forget where we were 5 years ago, where we were 6, 7, 8 years ago, right? Down at $110, $105. That's why I'm like, okay, this market's kind of crazy right now, but at the same time, it's presenting a lot of opportunities. When else are you going to buy AMD or have a chance to buy AMD at $83, right? When was the last time that happened? Back in, 2023, even before that, early 2023. Those are the kind of opportunities I'm talking about. But at the same time, while you're looking for long-term opportunities, there are short-term opportunities as well. There are swing trade potential. This week, like I said, this week Friday, we've got the financials kicking off the earnings season. I think JPM, Wells Fargo will be interesting earnings. But again, Chinese stocks right now, getting slapped down. Why? Tariff news, right? Tariff news. Look at Alibaba dropping down, gapping down after a great run. It had a nice 2-month run and just sold off the last 3-4 weeks, right? Alibaba is a Chinese stock. JD, Baidu. These are Chinese stocks that you probably want to watch out for. And just to see how they're performing. At this point, it looks like, Trump is pretty committed to holding up these tariffs. So I'd say, honestly, think that the markets right now are still going to be dropping for the near future. But overall, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 6 months from now, I believe the markets will be up. Look, here we go. Live news on Yahoo Finance, right? Trump threatens additional China tariffs. This guy doesn't care right now, right? He doesn't care. It's been a chaotic day in the market. It's been a chaotic month in the market. It's been a chaotic start to the administration. The best thing we can do, and I always say these things, right? 1, only risk money you can afford to lose if you're trading, right? If you're swing trading. If you're putting long term in, also understand that could go away, but it's not as risky. Two, buy time on your contracts. If you're normally someone who buys out 3 weeks, maybe buy out 5 weeks expiration. If you're someone who buys out a month, maybe buy out 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks till expiration. Start playing smart, right? The people who traded today, the SPY calls, the whatever calls before the market started ripping, even if they bought 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks out, they still got 100%, 200%, 300%, 400% returns just off that, that one move, those 3, 4 candles. So again, I'll tell you, buy enough time on your contracts. And then again, risk management is important. Don't be going all in. I've seen people making trades where they get 70, 80% returns, and then another play they make, they get 100% losses. What's the point in that? Play smart with your trades, Another thing is, we've been live trading in Discord. This is why I love live trading, because it gets intense, right? The way we shorted the markets after it ran up was great, but it took time before we got the real move. So yeah, China hitting back at Trump. They're going to do that, right? They're going to come with smoke for this guy, So Trump says if China don't withdraw their 34% increase by tomorrow, so April 8th, then the US are going to impose additional tariffs on China, which are effective from April 9th. So that's Wednesday. Like I said, this guy doesn't care right now. So sure, the markets are slightly up after hours, right? Sure, that's all nice. That's all well and good. Just beware, right? For me, I think it's still bearish. I think SPX comes down to 4,600, or 4,800, maybe a little bit lower, 4,700. I see a bad drop still to come. We've dropped far, but I still see a bad drop still to come. We're officially in correction territory. It's not completely a recession yet. It's not completely a market crash, but we're getting close to it. So that's pretty much it from me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I used to do these videos all the time. Now I kind of switched it up a little bit. But of course, if you're not in the Discord, that's where I'm at every single day. So come join the Discord. We live trade daily. We talk about stocks. We've got places. We talk about cryptocurrency. We talk about the news. Plan out our moves for the week. You saw my watch list that I posted yesterday in the Discord. All that kind of stuff, the alerts, the live options trading, all that kind of stuff, and a lot more. So come check out the Discord. That is the Royal Trading Academy. That is going to be the first link in the description below. Second link in the description below. That is the stock option starter pack. Check that one out. For those of you who are new to options, check that one out. It's going to talk about the calls, the puts, trading strategies, my trading strategies, how to just trade different markets. It's got me trading live in there as well, some recorded videos, terminology, history of options, all that kind of stuff, the Greeks, what to look out for when you're picking contracts, all that kind of stuff, and a lot more. So check out the stock option starter pack. And then the last thing I will say is, if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. We upload a lot of different kind of videos on this, and there's so much different content on this channel from the last 7 years. So go check it out. And then, of course, you guys know the usual. Show some support, show some love. Drop a thumbs up, hit the like button. Comment if you're new around here. Comment if you've been here before. Comment if you just want to show support. Make sure you comment either way. And then share it with a friend or family member. This is the time to get rich. This is the time to get wealthy. This is the market we've been looking for, but in a different way. So there's long-term opportunities here. Don't be that person who misses out on generational opportunities, generational buying opportunities. Of course, if you don't care about your financial future, your financial freedom, your generational wealth, then you can miss out. Don't be buying anything. You can chill at the side. Forget about the opportunities. But yeah, the rest of you guys know what to do. Buy up those, Nvidias, those Tesla stocks, those Metas, those AMDs, those SoFis. There's so much more, Go check it out in the Discord. But yeah, that's it from me, guys. Hope you guys have a great week. Let's make it a great April. Thanks a lot for watching. I got what I'm making. You got what I'm making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.